Hey guys, it's Jake, Alan's tech guy and tech director here at Dark Hour. A few people have asked about a little bit of a technical background, the way we do things here, and a look at our technical room here at Dark Hour, so that's what we're going to show you today on YouTube Wednesday. This is our air compressor and the yellow submarine, our air tank. This is in the back electrical room of Dark Hour, and the pipe you see goes up there into the ceiling, and it's just a maze of pipes all over the show, just like a sprinkler system. We can tap into it and drop our flexible air hose down to an effect anywhere we need it, all over the building. It's a really nice system, keeps all the noise from the compressor in the back, and gives us air virtually anywhere we could need it. When you first walk in here at Dark Hour, you get to see this set. And it's kind of a Cajun New Orleans shack out in the swamp. That's kind of the theme of our show. And our gimbal witch here, this is by Gorgalore. We program it ourselves. We change the programming every show. Every single show that we do is different, and so she'll always tell you a different backstory. This is kind of the main lobby area where you walk in, and once you come in, you get to see all that. You're greeted by it. Then you come right over here to the ticket window. Your tickets, we normally project our ticket menu right up here on this wall from this projector, and that way it's really dynamic. We can change it on the fly, we can change up the graphics and stuff. After you got your ticket, you head through the archway right here through the rest of the lobby, our hearse here, and this is our lobby area, kind of getting you into the world of Dark Hour as you walk in. This is our photo op where you can get your picture riding our Dark Hour Coven broomstick right there in front of the clouds. Okay, now this is the highlight of the tour. This is the really important stuff that everyone asks to see. The bathrooms. That's right. The latest in technology. We have flushies and we have stalls. And how does this fit into tech, you say? And I can make the mirror lights change color. There, it's technical. You come get in either the fast pass line or the general admission line, and stanchions aren't set up, but this is where the queue is normally built. You can see all the stanchions over there in the corner, and this is our queue area featuring our stage. You can see right now we're kind of set up between two different shows. The stage set that's added in is the Irish pub set that we build for our St. Patrick's Sleigh weekend show coming up on March 11th and 12th. And we still have video up from our Valentine's Day show, Love is Blind, that happened just a couple weeks ago. Up here in the tech booth by the stage, this is where the magic happens. This is what it's all about. And this not only controls our stage lights, but this is how we control all the lights inside Dark Hour. Just about everything in there, 90% of it is DMX controlled color mixing LEDs, so that we can really quickly and easily change up the look from show to show. But this also controls our stage lights. You see, you got a couple different things we can do up here. We got our geysers up on stage. Trigger those as well from back here. Change the colors of those. And over here is our mixer. It's for doing stage audio. This is our video. This is a project box I built that's got multiple buttons on it, and I change out the labels and change out what each button does. But if you've seen some of my other tutorials, we did the screaming portrait and how to use the purple bright sign player, and that's what this is right here. That's all that we're using to run our stage feed up there, is just one of these little bright sign players, and instead of having one trigger hooked up to it like we would for an animation, we have 8 different buttons. That's what these things are capable of. They can hold 8 files. So, you know, we can play a file up here and plays the video on stage, and then goes right back to the ambient loop that we put on it. Really handy, really nice little piece. And then we have some auxiliary buttons up here. These are scares that are built into the queue line. There's an air cannon right in front of us out here, and that's what the arrow indicates, so that the technician up here can scare people as they walk in front in line. And then you can't see it from here, but right next to that fire extinguisher is a tiny hole where there's an air cannon under the stage. And just off the stage over here up front, we have my favorite place, my tech lair. That's right, the Dark Hour tech room. Right here, keeps our Wi-Fi signals and stuff up around the building. These are our audio racks, all the other components for our sound system. We run a sound system called QSYS by QSC. It's basically a networked system. I can tap into these cores, these processors, from my computer at my desk. From there I can upload sound files, and I can mix and match where stuff plays throughout the entire haunt right there from my desk all the way down to a single speaker. When we do 8 shows a year, we got to open up about every 6 weeks and completely change the show. Sound and light are two of the ways that we make the biggest difference, and with these kind of systems in place, we're able to really flip that quickly and easily rather than go in and manually change out a bunch of CDs or MP3 files or change out lighting fixtures and move lighting fixtures. Up here we have all of our crates. It's a nice neat storage system. Keep all of our different stuff in it, keep them labeled. Tape crate, the holy grail, everything we use. Black gaff tape is the lifeblood of the tech department. Dark Hour runs on gaff tape. We got different color tapes in here too, caution tape, spike tape. A lot of this stuff we use for temporary markings for this and that from show to show. Another important one, glow tape. And yeah, glow tape shows up. This stuff will hold the glow for about 10 hours. I don't know what I love more, gaff tape or glow tape. This stuff is great. Keeps actors from hurting themselves all over the haunt. Gantums, got extra Gantum dark light power supplies in here. Got a couple of them. We use the big ones. We go heavy duty. And yeah, this is the Gantum DMX crate. And this right here, this is the Gantum Dark Light RGBW DMX. This is the workhorse in Dark Hour. We have about 150 of these throughout the show. They're color mixing. They're small and compact, so they're easy to hide in your sets. This is our crate full of spares. I try to keep spare everything on hand, just in case something goes down on a show weekend. We can get it replaced really quickly. We have a lot of power cables because all of our speakers and fog machines and things like that take universal power, and we're always shuffling them around from show to show. I got a bunch of cheap flashlights there for actors, Nutric connections, a lot of our Speak-On connections, just our chop shop bin. Bullhorns and hunting lights, we actually use those for a couple things. Mainly we use them in our zombie show, which is coming up in April. We got spare knobs, spare relays, things like that. Show controllers. This is an important one. These are mostly Boo Box Flexes, Boo Box Flex Max. I can't talk, I can't say it. From Fright Props. I love these things. We keep a lot of them around. This is what controls just about every single special effect in Dark Hour. We have fitted everything in the show with Boo Box Flex controllers. Not just for the animatronics, but for the special effects. If you've seen some of the other tutorials, I've kind of walked you through how we use these. But that's why we keep so many on hand. Effects come and go from show to show. We've got an effect coming up for our April show, which is a gunshot to the head with a zombie, and it uses a water cannon and a sound effect and a flash of light. Sequence completely controlled by these. Putting everything on the show on this type of controller allows me to save all the programming on my computer, and then I can just take an SD card, copy it onto the SD card from the computer, pop it in the program, pop it in the controller, and then we're ready to rock and roll from every show. I only have to program it once. We repeat that show and we use an effect again next year. I don't even have to program it. I just have to load it on the controller, set up the effect, and it's good to go. All of our motion sensors and a few other animatronic parts, spare pneumatic parts, solenoids and valves. We keep a good stock of electric motors, 12-volt motors from Fright Props, or like windshield wiper motors, various voltage power supplies, low voltage power supplies. Up here we keep 12 and 24 separate because that's the primary thing that we use. So they get their own crate. We have more of them than anything else. Spare accessories that came with a lot of the gear. Pedals and push buttons. If it's not a motion sensor, then it's an actor triggered button. So our rigging crate, we have carabiners to hook into harnesses and stuff when we fly actors. Crimps, steel cable, powder coated black cable so that it's invisible in the dark. And this is mainly high-end stuff that we use for flying actors, hanging actors, things like that, putting actors up in the air. We're not always exceptionally high tech. I still have a crate up here of colored light bulbs. Sometimes a clamp light and a colored light bulb does the trick. That's exactly what we need. So we still use that a lot when we need it. Classic clamp lights, sometimes you can't beat them. So we'll hang them with C-clamps, cables, just to make sure that these are gobos and other parts for our larger theatrical lights or Source 4 lights. Lots of water dyes and food color. We have a couple different water effects here, and sometimes we dye all the water blood red, or we dye it fluorescent and hit it with black light and do a lot of fun stuff with that. More rigging stuff, slings, chain hoist. This is an air cannon type of contraption that we built for one show. This is our auto belay. We call it our descender. Sometimes we'll hang this in the ceiling of the show, and an actor will clamp in on this, and they can jump down from a high point, and this thing unravels nice and slow, and it floats the actor down to the ground nice and safely. Our spare strobe lights that aren't in use, our Altman black lights that aren't in use, leftover glow sticks from our Valentine's Day show that we just did, and we always have a couple of extra powered speakers down here. It's our stock of air hoses and pneumatic supplies, tanks for air cannons, things like that. We've got 4 different boxes that are just full of air fittings. Some of these mix kits from Fright Props just come with various types of connectors, kind of a one and all type of thing. They're great. We have a couple of those. Butt kicker, low frequency woofers, have a couple of those that move around from show to show to shake the floor in various areas. These are some hanging lamps that we built, and they're going to hang up in the show, but they've got LEDs down inside there. And bare wire leads so that we can just hang these up. And this is definitely not the neatest part, but this is just a few mechanical, physical contraptions that we've thrown together. 110 relay setup, 12 volt or 24 volt relays in there, and control them by a Boobox Flex. And here's a little bit cleaner version of the same thing. Plug in my 110, got my 110 out. I just tie in my my 12 volt and the relays inside here. Got our soldering station and our work table kind of down here on the end. Lighthouse pre-wired LEDs, heat shrink, various more fittings, connections. Over here, stuff we go to a lot. These are all my 12 volt relays. Electronic connectors. Duvetine! 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 This is great. This is Duvetine. Sometimes it's called Camo Cloth. It's pretty heavyweight black fabric. And what we mainly use it for from show to show is to mask stuff. Anything that we don't want to show for a particular event because it doesn't fit the theme or because we need to hide it for scare purposes, this stuff is great. It's theatrical grade cloth. You can get it from Rose Brand. Comes already flame treated, so it's not flammable right off the roll. And that's why we keep so much of it around. We have a very large show here, so we're always kind of playing smoke and mirrors with different effects and animations and scenic pieces. More lights. Here's all the fobs for our geysers. We use the geyser a lot because it's compact fogger. Have our electric firecrackers, which are also awesome. We use them a lot. These 3 bins are all LEDs from Darklight. Nice little compact UV light or compact white light right there. I can't even hold on to it. Compact white light. Now, these are not DMX. These are just on or off, or can be controlled with a dark light flicker or some other mechanism. But what we do with these, we have UV and we have white only. And these are when we have lights tied into a triggered effect that we use on a Boobox controller. UV because sometimes we need to do ultraviolet black light effects, make stuff glow in the dark or change the way you see it, so playing lighting tricks. And the other reason we use white ones is because we can just gel the white to whatever color we want. That's a lot cheaper and a lot more effective than trying to keep stock of every color of LED. Over here is our gel drawer. So normal gel for gelling large fixtures comes in big rolls like this, you know, big pieces of gel. But we don't use that too often. What we use is little gels to gel the LEDs, and this is just a gel sampler pack. These are available from all the major lighting companies. There's one from GamColor, Lee. I think there's more in here from Roscoe. But these are just the samples. So you can get this. Lighting designers go through these and choose their colors. But these are small enough to gel an LED light. So I never have to buy big sheets. I get to buy sample packs, which are much smaller and cheaper, and just gel my tiny little LEDs with those. So that works out great. There's gels for LEDs that we've have used before, and we just kind of keep them saved because they're reusable. A prop from, I think, a Spirit or a Garden Ridge or somewhere like that. See the little on-off button right there. And we actually just put our own light, one of these LEDs in it, gelled it orange, and then we got a quick connect plug. So now sometimes in the show I need a lantern effect in the show to put off light, so I can put this in a scene and then wire it into a controller really easily, hide that cable, so that's nice. A couple of larger pneumatic cylinders, and this is just kind of used for low voltage hookups when we need to move 12 volt lights around. And this is all of our audio hookup, XLR, RCA, mini, you know, 1/4 inch, whatever you need. We're pretty well set up for all of that. We always keep AA's, AAA's in stock for flashlights, and our wireless mic packs use AA's, so we always keep plenty of those in stock. More XLR parts, more batteries, Wago connectors. All right, if I haven't mentioned these before, I apologize. These are pretty much the greatest thing that in sliced bread. They're not terribly expensive. They are more expensive than wire nuts. I think you get about 50 of these for 15 or 16 bucks. So they're not outrageous. But what's great about these is you can cram a wire down in each one of those slots and then lock down that lever, and it bites onto it, and it will not come off ever. That thing's got a good death grip on the wire, so it can't get snagged and come off like wire nuts. And also, you can just pop the lever up, take the wire out, completely reuse this thing. It never wears down, never goes bad. We keep 3s and 5s. The 3 connector ones and 5 connector ones. These out here. These are how we run cables all over our show. These junctions for all of our 12 volt and for all of our DMX line, everywhere. Every time we build a temporary effect that's just for one show, we use these. Wagos. I endorse this product. Male and female low voltage connectors, small 12 volt stuff. We have little short jumpers of wire. We have adapters for our bright sign players. Yes, as much fun stuff as we have, we still use the battery operated tea lights. Sometimes they're just easy if we need to do a set. We're open various weekends, 2 nights at a time. We can get away with some temporary stuff. So I use battery tea lights for those 1 weekend openings. If I was going to build something permanent or that had to last all through haunt season, I'd go with a wired candle. But those are great when they're necessary. So that's been a little peek behind the curtain at how we do stuff here in the technical department at Dark Hour. Hopefully if you're in town, you'll stop by and see us. We'll get more videos up soon. Go make stuff.